Hi, hi Sujit Hegde. We'll start the live in some time. We are waiting for some people to join. Please, please put a thumbs up or something if my voice is audible to you. Thank you. We are waiting for a few people to join. Uh, we'll wait for another 10 minutes and we'll start. So, meanwhile, others join, please share the questions that you have so that I can start answering your doubts. Sujit, Vignesh, Shri Charan. Uh, so the criteria for the selection process is we'll be looking at stories that could be turned into a pan-India series. That is number one. Number two is that we want something that is relatable and fresh, something that we resonate with each other, like something that is happening in our family, our neighborhood, stories around us, and number three is that the stories have to be original. So based on this and the creativity, obviously the creativity of the story, we will be choosing one story for our project. Any other questions? Sujit, Vignesh, Sri Charan. That's a good question. So yes, we are trying to make this at a minimal budget. We are looking at this as a what do you say, a independent project. So definitely there is a budget restraint. We are not looking at something above 50. Any other questions? So if your story is selected, then what we are going to do is we'll taken to. We'll have a discussion with you. We'll have a an official one-on-one discussion, and then you will be involved into the complete development from story to screenplay process of it. And based on your skill set, we will also see how else could you fit into the project. Any other questions? So document shared to mention keep it under the. No, it's 2,000 words for the entire story. It's just a synopsis that we are looking at. And to answer Sujit's question, uh, yes, we are open to a lot of roles. The whole project will be the every role for this project will be picked from our community, starting from the director, assistant directors, associate directors, sound designers, cinematographers, editors. Everyone will be selected from our. Vignesh, I hope I was able to answer your question. Okay, any other questions that you guys have? So we have shared a creative brief with you. You can look at that brief and let us know if you have any questions. And if you were not able to get your hands on the creative brief, just text us on Instagram and we'll share it with you, or even on WhatsApp and we'll share the creative brief with you. Any other questions? So basically, we are looking somewhere to complete the project by end of this year. That is by December. Uh, but in case if it doesn't happen, we are looking at a maximum timeline of by June of next year. But our primary goal is to finish this project by the end of 2020. Any other questions? Anything even around the project, we are open to answer that. Uh, so basically, we have given two themes. One is the theme. One of the theme is generation gap, and the other is mental health stigma. So it would be a combination of these two themes that you would have to write a story on. And number two is we have given five genres. Uh, yeah. So number two is we have given five genres. You have to pick any one genre. So we will text you the document in person on your Instagram. And if you have any further doubts around those, we'll be happy to help. We'll be happy to help you with that in person as well, over a call or something. And Vignesh, going back to your question about the 2000 words, uh, we are just expecting a synopsis. So basically, the synopsis would be an outline of the story. We are not expecting a in detail story because that would take a lot of time to develop, and it is not possible to be developed in a period of 3 to 4 days. So, keeping that in mind, we are expecting a very a very basic outline of the story that comes to your mind. So, that is what our expectation is. Any other questions? Yes. So, Jit, we have two kind of roles. One is we have people who are working full time for the project, and second is we have people who can become contributors. Let's say you do not want to be indulged full time; you just want to contribute on a part time basis. Then you can become a contributor for this project, and you will be rewarded accordingly. And if you have that time and liberty wherein you can join full time, then we invite you to join full time. You can work across all the departments, starting from AD to even being a director of the film of this project. So we will be calling for applications soon, and based on the process, the selection process, we will assign various roles to various people. But if you do not want to be part of this full time, then you can definitely join us part time. Do we have any other questions? Everyone who is here, please send us your questions. Yes, Ashish, can we share any additional documents regarding the story? If we have them, it would be better. Ashish, we are just looking at the brief for now. And if we like the story, if we like the concept that you're working on, then we'll definitely ask you for more things if you already have them in place. But definitely, the first thing that we are looking at is just the outline of the story. And SSB Creations, we are selecting everyone from our community, not just the writers, but directors, editors, actors, cinematographers. Everyone will be chosen from the community. Uh, Krutik, yes, we do have a special group for people who would like to join us. We have a separate WhatsApp group, and we will be sending out the details of the same shortly. It will be on our Instagram, and it will be shared on the WhatsApp groups as well. Guys, other questions? Do you want to know anything about the theme in particular, the genres? Uh, we have done a lot of short films previously. You can check out our YouTube channel also. So basically, we are a community-based platform. So the members of our community have made a lot of short films. We have made close to about 250 plus short films. On our YouTube, you can hardly find about 30, 40 of them, but we have made close to 250 plus short films. Uh, Sujit, that is something that I would have to discuss with the team and come back to you. Uh, right now, our focus is on the theme. Uh, so if we find something that is around the theme, it is much better. Uh, it is not that we cannot deviate, but uh, uh, our first priority will be to find a good story around this theme. Krutik will share that on in the WhatsApp group soon, and we'll also be sharing that on our Instagram bio in a couple of days. We are just preparing a couple of documents around that. Uh, X18 RO. We actually have a form, so we request you to kindly send us that story through that form because on the mail we might lose out. So we request you to kindly send us the story through that form. SSB Creations, we definitely have a budget constraint. We are not looking to go beyond a 50 lakh mark, but anything below that is something that we are looking at. And we are looking at very rooted stories. We are not looking at uh, any animated or a VFX based film. We are looking at something that is very rooted, very real, something that we experience in our day to day life kind of stories, more relatable stories. Vignesh, it completely depends on the story. If a story demands, like let's say 8 episodes, we are open to making it into 8 episodes. If it demands, let's say 6 episodes, we are open to making it in 6 episodes. It is completely up to the story. And once we finalize the story, then we will move to actually getting into the what you call the decision of how many episodes the series will be made in. No, there is no duration fixed. So as I was telling, it completely depends on the story. It depends on how it has to be portrayed, how it has to be set up. Uh, we are not keeping any fixed numbers on the duration or on the uh, number of episodes. Uh, our first goal, SSB creation, our first goal is to distribute it on an OTT. If not, then we are looking for distribution partners with channels that have over 1 million views on YouTube. But our first priority will be to uh, get it distributed on an OTT. Any other questions? Anyone else? Please free to share your questions. If all the doubts are solved, uh, please give a thumbs up in the comment section so that we can understand that all the doubts are solved already. Any other questions, guys? Sujit, yes, definitely we will give it a thought. We are not planning to make this in English. We are looking at somewhere a regional language of India because as we want it to be more relatable, would not be an English web series. And Vignesh, definitely not if it is just a 2 episode uh, web series because the chances of it getting distributed will drastically reduce. So the efforts of everyone on this project will be wasted. So we would try to make at least a 5 or 6 episode and not go beyond 8 or 9 episodes. So the ideal spot is somewhere between 5 to 9. Vignesh, was the question answered? Okay. Any other questions that you guys have? So, just a tip to all of you who are present here: uh, do not write the first five stories that come into your head. Try to get more creative. Uh, Write a story that you haven't seen before. So, uh, the first thing you have to do is write down the first five ideas and scratch it off, and then your brain will start thinking of other ways to portray these stories, and that is wherein you will get a really creative way to put the story out, uh, and that will give you more ideas around the theme. So that's a suggestion to all of you. Guys, if you have any other questions, I'm happy to answer them. uh, Anyone, any questions? Is it safe for me to assume that there are no more questions? SSB, can you please rephrase that question? I'm not able to understand what you mean. Guys, any other questions? SSB, I'll be waiting for your question. Let's say I'm sending a synopsis in English, but the story is based in Chennai and for Tamil audience. Will you guys be able to produce? Arvind, yes, we are open to make it in any Indian language. If it demands, if the story demands it to be based in Chennai, and it is for the Tamil audience. We are looking at a broader audience. We are looking at an audience that uh, caters to at least. We are looking at a story that is a pan-Indian story, but it demands to be centered in Chennai. Then definitely we are open to it. See, you will have, answering to Vignesh question, you will have one primary genre. Let's say coming to age is your primary genre, and then there are parts of it into family drama. Yes, that should be fine. But you will have to have fixed to one primary genre. That is like, let's say, coming to age, and you're showing a story of a teenager. Then the story should revolve around that teenager, and then a glimpses of it could be about the family, how he uh, expresses his feeling to his family, or there could be some issues with the family. Then that is open. That is okay. Yes, the timeline of the film is not fixed yet. Yes, we will be planning it on a Sunday soon. Just this was a live for people to let's say, just get a quick update on this theme, the genre, and on the process of how to submit. But we will also conduct a live or a Instagram live in a day or two, maybe on a Saturday evening. Guys, any other questions or any other suggestions also are welcome. If you guys have any suggestions, also please do share. Yes, you can have, let's say, uh, a complementing genre, uh, but the primary genre has to be fixed. Let's say coming to age is your primary genre, then you can have a bit of, let's say, comedy. You can have a bit of uh, drama to it. That should be fine. Guys, everyone, please share your questions. We'll be ending this in next 5 minutes. So if you have any questions, please do share it with us. Uh, Mahi, we do not have any directors or assistant directors yet uh, for this project. They will be chosen from our community. Once we finalize the story, we will be calling for applications for writers, for other writers, directors, assistant directors, associate directors as well. So currently, everything revolves around the story that we finalize, post which we will be uh, finding the entire team for this project. Guys, any questions? Sandeep, yes, you can write the synopsis in your regional language. My, no, there are no directors selected yet. We will be choosing directors from our community. No, there are no limitation on the number of characters the concept can have. Guys, hurry up. We'll be ending the live in next 2 to 3 minutes. Vignesh, you would have to have certain past experience, either in form of a short film or in form of uh, some major production, that you have worked on to be selected for considered for the director's role, or for the assistant role we will have a different selection process, the documents of which I do not have yet. Our team will soon share it with me, and I will give you the updates on how we will be selecting an assistant director. But the director, definitely we need someone who has some experience, either in form of a short film or in form of a sketch, something that they should have made. Uh, Answering to SSB, basically we wanted to do uh, a project for 2024, rather than going for a film which requires intense amount of planning and distribution. We opted to make a web series, uh, which is easier to distribute, which is easier to be produced, and because the world is going more digital, the consumption of web series has increased, which makes it a more viable project for us and for the people who will be associated with this project. And answering Mahi's question, we haven't selected anyone, but we will select the DOP, editor, everyone by sending out applications. If you, let's say, you are an editor, you can apply and you can share your work with us. And if we like it, we you would be part of the project. Yes, Sandeep, you can send us multiple synopses. You can send us even 10 synopses. There is no restriction on that. Guys, any other questions? Is it safe for me to assume that all the questions are answered? Yes or no? Yes, you have to submit it before the 28th. On the 28th, not before 20th. By the end of, by 11:59 of 28th, 11:59 p.m. Okay, Mahi, all the questions are answered. SSB, all the questions are answered. Arvind, Sandeep, Sujit, Pratik. Okay. Thank you, guys. If you have any question, you can reach out to me on WhatsApp or on our Instagram handle, and we'll be happy to help you. You can reach out to us anytime, and whenever possible, at the earliest, we will try to answer your questions. Thank you for joining our live today, and all the best. Uh, do send us good stories so that we can turn it into a web series. Thank you. Good night.